actually, I have a song called Sinbad the Sailor, and in that it's all about water and sailing the Pacific Ocean and being like a Final Fantasy character in an old comic book. In fact, I think Sinbad the Sailor is the basis for Final Fantasy VII and even previous games. The tales of the Sinbad is um, going back hundreds of years, and in my homage to him in the drone footage of the US military drone, we got myself on the surfboard being dragged out to sea by a riptide or a mako shark or something grabbing the board, took me out to see Pacific Ocean, not see ocean, and then out of the ocean, I jumped in, got in and out, and even ended up in a space station, crashed the space station into the beach, landed a surfboard and swam and my brother's with me, and I don't know how he got it. He pushed me and kicked. His brother kicked it his way. He's visiting me, and I did it a little bit as well. I pushed it a little bit as well. My heart was on medication. I on Zeppelion and everything. Parathyroid and palmitate and artificial liquid and spirulina and micronutrients from trope. And I got to the shore eventually, and threw some photos in the stratosphere of me with a JFK mask on top of a nuclear weapon that detonated with my silver amulet, which I have here. This is it. It's a Q-link polished silver. Interacted with the water. As you can see, it's similarly worth this technology tree. And nothing happened to me. The nuclear weapon didn't hurt me. I used my surfboard on top of the nuclear weapon. And the Pacific Ocean. And then I got into spaceship with my breaststroke, my spacewalking without a spacesuit, and I pressed the big red record button in the space station and slammed the space station re-entry into Bali, particularly and landed on the spaceboard or surfboard, as it's usually called in the Navy. And then I got back and had a McFlurry and went back to the Bali Buddha Inn and I had some sex with some polygamy friendly people, and then I went back to Ireland and said, "Nah, I'm a one woman man now, but I miss it. There was a bit of rinsing going on. Somebody lying about that rinsing. You rinse a little bit. Stop rinsing. You rinse too much, bad." But he says in that world, Adam swimming, not once did he rinse, but that's all bravado. The penis gets everywhere. So I didn't drink at all, except for the what you call the Tai Chi Dragon Fuel or the artificial liquid that helped me fly through space and survive the Pacific Ocean. There was even a shark involved in the shark. My friend Mark Zuckerberg, as you know, he's all our friends. We all are friends like him the way we're friends with Rand Tuberty. And my friend Mark Zuckerberg put that ankle tag on me to make sure that I don't go too far. And I under Section 26 leave from the Mental Health Act, and the shark wouldn't harm me. Repel the shark. I got a good close-up picture where if we can get a hold of that through the internet, you might find it on the US Library of Congress archive.org. He had a tumor in his mouth, and it came up to me close. It was worse than Jaws 1. And I prayed. I said all the prayers as I was sinking in the Pacific Ocean. I even did some qigong standing meditation to stand tall and not sink in the water that had no salt except for the salt that was in the composition of my body, which is artificial palmitate, spirulina, micronutrients with sodium, and also multivitamins and ginkgo biloba and all that kind of thing, the vandalium and all those unusual chelated vitamins. So I got them from truehope.com, True Canada. Did it make the difference? I think, I was too cool for most people. My head was too cool and I was not struggling enough. But if I had struggled a bit more, I wouldn't have made it one more second and then my brain dead would have been dead because I was 8 minutes underwater, 7 minutes, 59 seconds, according to Dennis O'Brien, who did not want to lose the bet where I own all the water in the world. The Pacific Ocean and all of Irish water. That was the bet, and he didn't want to lose that bet. And it was something along those lines, but he wouldn't agree to that. But Soma Solera is promoting the orderwaterwell.com product for drinking out of the environment because 90% of Ireland's water is surface water, 10% of it is tap or um, plumbed water. Clean drinking water is not necessarily tapped water, but you can get out of the environment. For example, you can get in restaurants and pubs. You pour the water from their glass into your filtered bottle or the water well, and then make sure there's a filtering process going on by using suction, and then the water is less likely to be spiked by malicious conspirators. So yes, there's definitely a conspiracy of the pontiff killers there, the WSM and the blasphemous, and we think they want blasphemy removed from the Constitution so they don't want to go to prison. But in the end of the day, if you urinate in public, you're vagrant. Vagrants don't understand that they're urinating in public, and if they're detained, it's detained because they're sentenced for vagrancy in the mental hospital psychiatric acute unit. It means that you urinate in public, you go into the psychiatric unit, you do time for vagrancy. If you keep urinating in the even after you're asked to leave, 752 days, the woman is asked to leave. I would say that is a case of possibly vacancy. Is she massively rich? She should buy the hospital, build one of her own. Um, like Dennis Bryan built the Beacon. He's very rich. He's 3 billion, etc. money, and then the if you build your own or build your own shelter like a Gym Mexico, and then stay there. You can put a hospital bed in a Gym Mexico, it's no problem. But if you say in a UMPC or UPMC, whatever they're called, a hospital, you watch out for the hospital bill. 752 days in the hospital, I'd say you're going to get a massive bill. And if you do, remember there's no conditions to say you might win your tribunal, but I would not stay in a place that where I'm considered to be urinating in public because I know that that is vagrancy and that is a crime. I remain law abiding. Now in hindsight, I say I was wrong. I was wrong to urinate in public. And I used to urinate in the gutters, in the grates, the gutters of the cul-de-sac, and say, "Well, this is nothing wrong. I'm going into the gutter. It's going into the sewer anyway." But still, I used to urinate in ditches and things like that outside the road. I will try and avoid that now. And I think the best practice is the new superiors and newer will know that and say, no, just wait until you get home and in the car, and then you have to go